Hear ye, Jor frauds, bronze sexuals, and Kobe tards. Today, we have the actual slander, not the slander that y'all be talking about, because y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
A couple videos ago, I talked about a few critiques that drive me insane. I broke down what I believe are ridiculous and misleading narratives about some of the greatest players of all time. Honestly, most of that video was me simply defending these legends for some of the weaker critiques thrown against them. Now, with that being said, no basketball player is perfect, and every athlete has some weaknesses.
Yeah.
So today, I'm looking at those same three NBA legends and breaking down what I believe are the actual legitimate criticisms of their careers. First off, LeBron James and the 2011 NBA Finals. After trying to win a championship for 7 years in Cleveland, LeBron shook the basketball world by joining Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. Immediately, the expectations were extremely high, but LeBron didn't do himself any favors when predicting at least 8 championships prior to the season starting. The comment from LeBron did come across like it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but regardless, the narrative was being established early on that a healthy Miami team would have more excuses for failing to win a championship. Despite their talent, the Heat got off to a rocky start, opening the season with a 9-8 record. It was soon after that where they began to hit their stride, and they eventually finished the regular season with a 58-24 record. They cruised their way to the NBA Finals, winning the first round, the second round, and the Eastern Conference Finals in 5 games apiece. With the Dallas Mavericks standing in their path, the Heat were now sitting as the clear favorites to win the NBA championship. If LeBron played at a level even remotely close to his usual expectations, then Miami likely wins that.
Yeah, it gets nasty.
Hey, you know how crazy ass LeBron was in the series? The narrative I've been hearing in the Twitter streets now is, hey, Dirk's ring ain't even all that. Because, like, in that finals, if LeBron just played average, like, was it really Dirk dominating or was it just LeBron choking that bad type shit? Like, that's what I've heard.
The fuck he supposed to know about that? What the you niggas are creative, bro. You niggas are creative at slander. I ain't gonna lie, bravo. That's some TSO Sage drunken rant level shit right there. Credit where it's due. That's a good one. You said, yo, Braun was so bad, his ring don't even count. Are you kidding me, bro? You can do that for anybody that loses. It's almost like the loser plays worse. Like, what the fuck?
As you all know, that's not what happened though. At times, he almost appeared as if he was afraid of the moment and was scared to shoot the basketball. Regardless of his reluctance, he still found a way to lead all players in turnovers over the course of the series. In those finals, LeBron averaged a disappointing 17.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 6.8 assists on 47.8% shooting. His worst performance
didn't even feel right this year,
which was a very winnable game for Miami, as Dallas won with a final score of 86-83. On the night, LeBron played nearly 46 minutes of the game, and he finished with only 8 points on 3 of 11 shooting from the field. At the time I'm currently making this video, LeBron is on a streak of 1,151 regular season games with at least 10 points, which is easily the longest streak in NBA history. This streak began well before the 2011 NBA Finals. The fact that LeBron is actively on such a remarkable streak makes it even more mind-blowing that he managed to score only 8 points in an NBA Finals game where they could have easily taken a 3-1 lead in the series. No matter how long James plays, regardless of his impressive stats, and regardless of what he accomplishes before he retires, this ugly moment of his career will always be a part of his life.
Don't want to talk about 2010 though.
Kobe Bryant and the 2004 NBA Finals.
Bro, that was Bad Boys Part 2, bro.
Chill. Mamba, I'm actually quite surprised by how rarely he's criticized for this series, as I believe it's the biggest stain on his basketball career. I'm not mincing words when I say that Kobe Bryant was the biggest reason the Lakers lost this series, other than the simple fact that Detroit was a really great team.
I'd even argue some of his
Before I get into what Kobe did that sabotaged his own team's chances, let me first provide a little bit of context.
People would even say like him just running out
2003 to 2004
running out Shaq
with their major acquisitions of Karl Malone
it's up there though.
Although both of these stars were in the twilight of their careers, they were still performing at an all-star level when the Lakers signed them. With now 4 stars in Los Angeles' starting lineup, many people were predicting these Lakers to challenge the Bulls' 72-10 record. It was also understood amongst the team that in order to be successful, sacrifices would have to be made, as these stars would have to share the basketball with one another. With that being said, the season ended up being much rockier than originally expected. Throughout the regular season, the beef between Kobe and Shaq had reached an all-time high of toxicity, as both players began taking subtle jabs at one another through media interviews. On top of that, each player's ego was being challenged consistently by one another, as both players strongly desired to be known as the leader of the Lakers. Through all of the drama and the chemistry issues, the Lakers still managed to finish the regular season with a solid 56-26 record. Yet considering their preseason expectations, that record almost felt like a disappointment. The Lakers fought and clawed their way to the NBA Finals, where the defensively dominant Detroit Pistons...
That's interesting, though, because I ain't gonna lie, the 2011 Heat were the same. I was like, really? They only won 58? I thought this was the big three. I thought they, supposed to beat everyone. Why didn't they go like 66 or some shit,
Subtraction by addition, bro. It's good cases of time, man. You wanted to add Bozo to the team. Shout out Gary Payton. You wanted to add Bozo to the team. Now everybody got to drop 20 a night. In expectations and shit. Nah. Get these geezers out of here. What I tell y'all about them old non-athletic players. Get them geezers out of here. Give me some rookies that can run. Yeah. Some rookies that can run. We would have had a 4P.
I think every team needs like one Uncle Jeff Green, though.
Oh, yeah, you need one. Yeah, you need hold on. Let me be clear. Every team needs 2 unks. One can be good. The other got to be trash. The other has to be awful. Let me be clear. 9th man peak. The other one has to be shit. But yeah, every team need an unk. Otherwise, you're good.
Pistons were waiting. But at that point, the Lakers were still considered the favorites in the matchup. Now understand, at this time in history, most people in the basketball community still saw Shaq as the engine that drove the Lakers. One of the major reasons for this was the fact that Shaq had won the Finals MVP in all 3 of their title runs, while Kobe simply observed during the ceremony. Given their massive ego battle, Kobe presumably wanted his own Finals MVP. If he was going to assert himself as the man in Los Angeles over O'Neal, then Kobe was likely going to need to win the Finals MVP to sway the narrative in his favor. So when Game 1 started in Los Angeles, Kobe immediately started playing as if all he cared about was the Finals MVP. As a close spectator of that
what you
series,
doing, bro?
I can testify to the fact that the Mamba wasn't playing within the flow of the team's offense and was forcing up shot after shot. You don't have to take my word for it. Take the word of one of Kobe's former teammates. At the time, the Lakers' backup shooting guard was a young player named Kareem Rush. In May of the year 2020, Rush said in an interview that Kobe, quote, selfishly wanted the MVP. He was really itching to get that MVP, and we got caught off guard by a better team. Game 1 was all the heads up you need on how this series was going to play out. Kobe took 27 shots in the first game and only converted 37% of them, while Shaq made 13 of his far fewer 16 field goal attempts, which is 81.3% from the field. On the series as a whole, Kobe took 29 more shots than Shaquille O'Neal, despite the fact that the Mamba was only shooting 38.1%, while Shaq was making 63.1% of his shots. To me, this is the worst criticism of Kobe's career, and a completely justified one at that, as he put his own selfish desires ahead of what was best for the
agenda
team.
Pushing again.
And instead of changing course when it clearly wasn't working, Kobe just
come on, man. He shot the ball more than Shaq.
If it wasn't for his immaturity in this series, who knows? Maybe he would have retired with 6 rings on his fingers instead of 5. Next up, Michael Jordan and the 1995 playoffs. The thing that bothers me the most about this semifinal series is the fact that the biggest Jordan stans pretend that it never happened. Yes, Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the NBA Finals, but it's not like he never lost after he started winning championships in 1991.
One of these niggas hit a stallion.
Yo, bro, imagine just like LeBron running. Like, that'd be crazy, yo.
What it do, flight crew? All right, bro. Get out of here, dog. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, nigga.
That'd be crazy. Exactly. That's the biggest critique of his fucking career. Put that tongue away, Mike. What the fuck?
If Flight was really good at basketball, y'all, we know who it is. It's Michael Jeffrey Jordan, bro.
The Chicago Bulls had won 3 straight championships from 1991 to 1993.
God,
after
told
the
me
tragic
you
passing
won,
of his father,
lie, though,
that
if 95
offseason,
of his
Jordan
weakest
felt
blemish,
inspired to leave the game of basketball and begin his career.
I don't want to be an agenda pusher, but fuck, I'm thinking the same thing.
That says a lot. What else, being selfish early in your career? Like,
regardless, his Chicago Bulls were still very competitive, as they won 55 games throughout the regular season and even made it as far as the Eastern Conference semifinals. But the following season, the Bulls were struggling. Meanwhile, Jordan's itch to return to basketball was becoming too strong for him to resist. Now, with only 17 games left in the regular season, MJ made his return to a Bulls team with a 34-31 record. Jordan's first game back was rough, as they lost to the Indiana Pacers, while Jordan shot 7 of 28 from the field. He wouldn't appear rusty for very long, though. In his 5th game back, Jordan dropped 55 points on the New York Knicks while shooting 56.8% from the field. Instantly, people were believing that the Bulls were championship contenders once again. After getting past the first round of the playoffs, they were matched up against the first-seeded Orlando Magic, who were bolstering a 3-headed monster of Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, and Jordan's former teammate, Horace Grant. The Bulls went on to lose Game 1, and the manner
3-headed monster.
I'm about to say,
there's the picture you need.
Seconds left in the 4th quarter, the Bulls were up by 1 point, seemingly in a commanding position of the game. Unfortunately for MJ, he had one of the most unclutch moments of his career.
Oh, good day!
Had the ball stolen from him by Nick Anderson, which led to a fast break dunk by Horace Grant, securing the lead for Orlando. With a chance to redeem himself with late-game heroics, Michael Jordan turned the ball over yet again, with a bad pass intended for Scottie Pippen. On the night, Jordan had 19 points on 8 of 22 shooting.
Oh, interesting. 8 turnovers.
8 turnovers.
Oh, interesting.
This was a crucial game where the Bulls could have stolen home court advantage from Orlando right out of the gate.
Interesting.
The thing is, after this performance, in games 2 through 6, Jordan was basically his old self, as he put up monstrous averages of 33.4 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 3.
This is a floor is insane, bro. You're telling me the nigga was unclutched one time, and that's in one game. Unless he's about to pull a game 7, he was asked to or some shit. Agenda got pushed. Moral of the story: Jordan is the GOAT all along. It's like, nah.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I think that's why, like, if you want to say Jordan's still the GOAT, I'll give it to you, because his floor to me is so fucking high from a career perspective. And in my opinion, if you got the closest thing to a perfect career, the closest, obviously there's blemishes, shit ain't perfect. If it was perfect, he would have won finals MVP and won a championship every year. I think he had the closest thing to a perfect career, both on and off the court. Like, for real, the off-court impact, even if you want to bring in the Nike shit, the Jordan shit, you know, globalizing the game, like, Jordan's career is insane if you really want to, like, just put the LeBron goggles off, put the GOAT debate goggles off, and just look at his career objectively. That career is fucking crazy, bro.
Yep. That's why we say routinely on the channel, look, I don't care if you have LeBron or Jordan, nigga. Like, shit, like, we be talking, we be giving LeBron his flowers because he's playing. Not too much on MJ, bro. Nigga's crazy.
49.6% shooting. With that being said, the Bulls ultimately still lost the series in 6 games. If I'm being honest, this was my least favorite part of the Last Dance documentary, because for this entire segment, it was basically Jordan and his physical trainer making excuses for why they lost the series. The biggest excuse was that Jordan wasn't in basketball shape and was still in his baseball shape. The thing is, this wasn't the narrative when Jordan was dropping 55 in Madison Square Garden. When Jordan was putting up these numbers in games 2 through 6 against Orlando, he didn't look like a baseball player.
Cool.
He was performing at the same level of greatness that he was accustomed to. The truth is, the Bulls didn't lose because of Jordan's baseball excuse. They lost because they no longer had an inside presence like they did in their first three-peat. Horace Grant was now on the other side of the court, averaging 18 points and 11 rebounds on 65% shooting for the Orlando Magic. No matter how much Jordan, his trainer, and the Jordan stands want to act like this series didn't count, it did. They were simply beat by the better team.
I can tell.
And when Jordan had the opportunity to steal a crucial game in Orlando, he choked. The funny thing is, even if Jordan's baseball excuse was the reason the Bulls lost the series, that's still not a legitimate excuse, because that's no one's fault other than his own. He was the one who decided to come back to basketball with only 17 games left in the regular season. The Orlando Magic didn't make him do that, so don't try to invalidate their victory. And just like how Jordan ignored the fact that Horace Grant was the real reason they lost in '95, The Last Dance doc also failed to mention that Horace Grant got injured in Game 1 of the 1996 series, where the Bulls executed their revenge.
For like really how I'm interpreting it, because this is a weak
series. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think a 72-10 Bulls would have beat a 64-win Orlando Magic team, even with a healthy Horace Grant. But at the very least, if you're going to go on about your excuses for your loss in 1995, then don't ignore the excuses of the other team in '96. If your favorite player is Michael Jordan, my bit of advice is just take the L on the 1995 series. You personally can still view MJ as the greatest player of all time, while acknowledging that at least one time after he began his championship reign in the NBA, he and the Bulls legitimately failed to get it done.
Yeah, if that's the asterisk, hey, okay. I see it. I see it. I'm not going to say it's not. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get it done that year. It wasn't perfect. But, man, crazy floor.
That's a crazy floor. Hey, remember that time you averaged 30, but you turned the ball over in game 1? So for the other 5 games, even though you proceeded to lose them, ultimately, who knows if you had won that game 1 and you didn't have rim protection? You remember that? Yeah, it's like I come on, bro. It just that's weak. You even admitted the Horace Grant thing was major, let alone him still proceeding to lose 3 out of 5. That's a weak slander. We need better slander. Jordan slander below. I need better slander than that.
Shout out to bro for the video. It was a good video. Watch this video right here to watch another video on the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Peace.